Struggle streamers in the house. This is the truth, man. Let me conclude this video about guys crying and whether or not it's feminine or masculine or whatever. Crying is not feminine unless you cry over things that people, a grown man, shouldn't cry over. Like if you get in an argument with your girl and you get to crying, man, that kind of stuff. People die that you love, that you like being around. It's all right to cry. It is. In fact, if you not crying, I wonder what your real feelings were about that person. Now, I haven't cried at every funeral on the outside, but on the inside, boy. And I ain't gonna sit up here and jack and cap and say that I ain't never been trying to hold back tears and stuff like that. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna show y'all how that's garbage. Me and my wife had a stillborn son. And they brought him in the room like normal, dressed, but he was dead. We held him, had our last moment. If you can deal with something like that and not cry, you are a chump. You fake. You fake. Either you fake or something about you ain't right. You psychotic. You possibly sociopathic. Something about you ain't right. You deranged. Your temporal lobe of your brain might be damaged. If you can deal with a situation like that and not cry, man, do you not realize when we went to the funeral home, he was crying. When we were in the hospital, the nurse was crying. You know why? Because when stuff touches you, that's one of the natural responses. These dudes is too young and too fake. Some of them. I gotta agree, for how it's supposed to be, I gotta agree with Destiny. For how it is, because these people is fake, to be honest with you, the 80s, the 90s, far better. Far better. I done had friends pass away. I was 14? I went over to one of my friends' house to play video games and, just what we do normally. I go over there, see what's up with him. His mother tells me, Mike passed away last night. I said, what? And my face just dropped. She said he died in his sleep. I just was standing there. Just standing there like, put my head down and walked away. "14. So I should have laughed. Which, let's talk about that. So I knew a guy in middle school, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. I knew him. That's what he does. Like when he experiences or hears about something sad or grief. I knew him, and that's what he did. He ain't mean nothing by it. So one of our classmates used to drive. He came up from Mississippi, already had his license, had a car, but he was driving crazy trying to show off, and he crashed and he died. He burnt up in the car. I know the guy I'm talking about was cool with him. They liked each other. They used to joke around, everything. When he heard it, he kind of like sarcastic. It wasn't sarcastic, but it was kind of like a nervous laugh. Then he put his head down and he ain't say nothing else. They jumped him over that. I was furious. And I'm going to show you something else. I'm finna show you something with that. I end up fighting one of the guys that jumped him. And I'm going to show you. Like, we end up getting cool. I'm even friends with him on Facebook now. But when they jumped him like that, I had it in for him. Because I was looking at him like he think everybody's scared of his cousin. Because his cousin looked like he was too big and he looked like an old man in the face. And people were scared of him. And they jumped on the other guy, which was one of my friends. So I had it in for him anyway. And then one day we walking up the hallway and he trying to show off his cousin. So he pushed me into a girl that everybody used to talk about how ugly she was. So I turned around and I said something to him. He hit me right in the eye. Bang! Soon as he hit me in my eye, I ain't even post up. I ain't even put my guards up. I just started catching. Deck. He was fighting back, but it caught him by surprise. I ain't care about his cousin being right there. Remember on Christmas Story when Ralphie got mad at the bully? It was a situation. He wasn't bullying me. Nobody at that school was. I had more fights in middle school than high school. Well, not elementary. I had some in elementary too, but I had more fights in middle school than high school. Because those guys was always just on garbage. What you trying to do then? You know, that's what they used to say. What's happening then? I used to be like, because I was small, so I always say, ain't nobody scared of you. And some of them would attack me. And I didn't lose a single fight. Well, no, I lost one. The dude was way bigger than me. And I saw him after the fact when we was both grown. I told my guy, man, I'm finna beat dude A. I was finna beat him up for what he did in middle school. He came up to my shoulder like he ain't even grow no taller. And I think he knew what I was up to. So he got up out of there. But listen, man, that's why I like the 80s and the 90s better. Because the 80s and the 90s, it was perfectly fine for you to let somebody know about themselves and for all of your emotions. Man, people used to be breaking their arms and stuff and crying, and nobody said, man, he a punk. He was crying when he broke his arm. It wasn't nothing like that. And believe you me, in the 80s and the 90s, guys were way more masculine than they are now. You can't tell me, I grew up in that time period. Way more masculine. In the 90s, a dude could have a perm all the way down his back and be more masculine than practically anybody. Now, they'll have a low haircut, and wear a pink shirt, and eat like this. But anyway, I think I covered this enough. From a standpoint of how it should be, I agree with Destiny. For a standpoint of how it is currently with these weirdos, I agree with Anthony Spade. Because these women now, like, they look for every reason to call a man weak. That's why Anthony Spade said that. But I don't think you should consider, me personally, if you can't be yourself with a woman, what you gonna sleep with her for? You desperate? I'm not smashing no woman I don't like. I gotta like you. Like hearing your voice. Like when you're around. Not just, man, her ass fat, so now I'm pulling my pants down. No, that's why y'all be getting them STDs. But anyway, I'm gone. See, thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for more videos.